Morning. Should I try that with a voice? Good morning. How the devil are you doing this fine day? Me? Well, I'm feeling a lot better today than I did yesterday. I'm now on a new medication for my type 2 diabetes. You start on 1 tablet per day for the first week, and then you go up to 2 tablets. I was told the possibilities of side effects included sickness and an upset stomach. Did the first week, no trouble whatsoever. However, when I increased the dose to twice a day on Friday, the side effects found me. So apologies if I was a bit quiet over the weekend. Now, speaking of diabetes, during my trip to Conexpo, I met up with the team at Mazzio Attachments, who gave me several gifts. The limited edition mug that they gave me, which comes all the way from Colombia, is staying right here with me. Bit of a collector's item. I'm hanging on to that. However, they did also give me some Colombian chocolate that I really shouldn't be eating. So, in order to take this chocolate off my hands and remove the temptation, I need you to type the word Mazzio into the chat. That is Mazio. And I've actually prepared, if I can find it, there you are, that's how you spell it. Type Mazzio in the chat for your chance to win. We will do our usual thing, and we will draw that at the very end of the show. But Mazio in the chat for your chance to win some Colombian chocolate. I'm told it's very good. Can't vouch for it personally because I've not actually eaten it. Now, without further ado, let me roll the intro, post the question of the day, and get this show on the road. Welcome to the Breakfast Show. I'm your host, Mark Anthony. It is Monday, the 3rd of April. Welcome to the Breakfast Show. I am your host, Mark Anthony. In today's show, Hitachi raises the bar for demolition excavators. John Deere redefines Weight Watchers. A new Holland heads down on a plus. Does the UK demolition industry have the appetite for change? We shall see. We'll get to all that in just a second. But first, let's see who among the rich and the shameless will be celebrating a birthday on this day of days. Happy birthday! And it's many happy returns to movie icon and singer Doris Day and to legendary actor Marlon Brando. A happy birthday also to politician Tony Benn, one of the two fat ladies, Jennifer Patterson, to primatologist Jane Goodall, and to actress Sally Tomsett, to actors Alec Baldwin and Eddie Murphy, actress Kobe Smulders, singer Leon Lewis, and to Wayne's missus, Colleen Rooney. Many happy returns to them, one and all. But in addition to that, I just want to say a very happy 20th anniversary to the team at C&D Engineering Consultants. The company was started 20 years ago today by my mate John Woodward, and it was bought out by another mate of mine, Mike Keogh, about 4 years ago. The company is absolutely flying the flag for British demolition expertise, both here and overseas too. So happy anniversary to John, to Mike, to Matty, and to Angela. We do actually have a feature-length episode to celebrate that 20th anniversary. I should have been editing it over the weekend, but wasn't feeling it. Wasn't feeling much at all, to be perfectly honest. So watch this space. That is coming very, very soon. Now, before we get started, here's a very quick reminder of our question of the day. Yes, this should throw the cat among the pigeons, and no mistake. Who makes the best excavator? Not for me to judge. I'm not an operator and I'm not an owner. I have my preferences, but that's not for me to judge. So who does make the best excavator? Answers in the chat, please. And while you're in the chat, type Mazzio into the chat as well, Mazio, to win some Colombian chocolate. Now, I think we can all agree that Hitachi makes some seriously good excavators, which is kind of what prompted me into all things excavator today. I think we also accept that their partners at Kiesel, or KTEG as they're now known, make some awesome machines for the demolition sector. But when the two companies put their heads together, well, things get even better still. Here is my mate Timo to tell you more.
I'm standing in front of the Hitachi ZX600 MC, the new multi-carrier line of Hitachi. The multi-carrier line is built and designed for one purpose: a safe and efficient demolition. It is designed to achieve optimum total cost of ownership of all demolition machinery. Let's start by having a look on the hydraulic extendable undercarriage. The track frames can be retracted for easy transport and they can be extracted for a stable working position. In working position, it's possible to operate the machine over 360 degrees. For the tough demolition environment, the undercarriage is equipped with track scrapers, with a full roller guard and also with a bigger cover for the travel motor. The multi-carriers are equipped with a third boom cylinder, which allows up to 50% more lifting capacity. The machine is designed for durability. For example, it has a side impact protection and cover plates on the downside of the upper structure. It has a Hitachi demolition cabin which can be tilted to 30 degrees. This ensures a safe and comfortable working position. The multi-carrier is a modular system consisting of a base machine and various front equipment. This gives you the versatility to use the machine for any task on the job site, for example high-reach demolition or pulverizing with a short front. The fully hydraulic boom quick coupling system allows the operator to exchange the front equipment easily and quickly without leaving the cabin. This means more productivity, more efficiency and more safety on the job site. The interface between base machine and front equipment will always stay the same, so base machines and front equipment will always be compatible. The machine is designed for easy transport. All transport stands and front equipment can be loaded by the base machine itself. The Hitachi multi-carriers are unique in the market and ensure safe operation with highest productivity and lowest total cost of ownership.
Yes, is Hitachi and Craic the new design standard for demolition excavators? Starting to think it might just be. We've had some entries for our competition today to win some Colombian chocolate from our friends at Mazzio Attachments. I am seeing 4 entries on the draw, the randomizer that we use, but I'm fairly sure there's more in the chat. Don't know what's going on there. So if you've entered, if you really do want to get your hands on some Mazzio chocolate and save me from myself, please type it again, M-A-Z-I-O. Let me throw it up on the screen just to remind everyone. That's how you spell it. Type that in the chat and we'll see what we can do with shaking loose the randomizer. Now I need to play something, and I think I'm going to play one of these. Yeah, it looks like that's shaking it loose. We're now up to 6 entries. So there is a 1 in 6 chance of you winning some Mazzio chocolate all the way from Colombia. Although Tim Gosden's just arrived and has entered as well and has taken it up to 7. So you're now down to a 1 in 7 chance. Fingers crossed. Now, it is time to head down under. We're talking about Colombia. We're now heading down under. And we're doing so in the company of those fine folks at New Holland Construction Equipment. Take a look at this.
Hi, this is Peter Russell from On Track Ag. I'm a director in the On Track Ag group. We're out here at Australian United Timbers at Burriga today, and we're looking at the W130 and the W170 wheel loaders they have in use here. We've established a relationship with Ben Burke and Australian United Timbers around 7 to 8 years ago, servicing their wheel loaders. Going forward, we've sold them 2 new wheel loaders, a W130 and a W170. On Track Ag's business is built on service, and that's how that relationship has formed. Australian United Timbers are a highly intensive business and they rely on reliability for their machines. On-Track Ag give them that reliability and the backup service.
My name's Ben Burke from Australian United Timbers. We're a family-owned company operating out of Burriga, New South Wales. For us at Australian United Timbers, we're in a remote location, so it is imperative to get fast and efficient communication with our local New Holland dealer. The risk to our business with a machine breakdown is vital. We need to keep machines running. We have a small amount of staff here, so we don't have spare machines to jump into. So we need a reliable, consistent machine that'll do the job for us. So I'm currently operating our New Holland 170. It's got class-leading visibility. The windscreen runs all the way from the top of the cab down to your feet. With that, it means you can see the front wheels a whole lot easier. And when you're in tight spaces like where we operate here at Mill, it makes it a lot easier. We don't clip things on the way past, and you can be a lot more efficient and quick through the small moving areas. It's a pretty good place to be, this machine. It's nice and comfortable, it's fast, it's efficient, and it doesn't take it out of you at the end of the day. With other machines, when you're bouncing around all day, it makes it a long old slog in your work day. And this thing's just a pleasure. You've got good aircon, you've got radio, comfy seat, suspension in the boom. So you're not getting jarred and knocked around all day. So when you hop out of the machine after your 10-hour shift in our case, you're still feeling pretty fresh, and you can do something with the rest of your day. We run a lean operation at Australian United Timbers. That's why we choose New Holland. They are strong and reliable machines, and we have fast-acting breakdown service if something does happen to go wrong. We are very satisfied with our local New Holland agent. On-Track Ag and Australian United Timbers have been partners for the past 8 years. We have a great working relationship, they are always at the ready, and we love the product.
Yeah, isn't it nice to see the sunshine, eh? Still, it's less than a month now until the Breakfast Show team heads for Verona in Italy, so not long to go now. Time to break out the linen trousers and the T-shirts. The Italians won't know what's hit them. Lost my place. Yes, you all know that I'm a fan of John Deere equipment, and I rather wish they'd set up shop right here in the UK so we could access their excavators, dozers, wheel loaders, and the rest of the range as well. Well, in addition to all those fine machines, it appears that John Deere has also redefined Weight Watchers. Yeah, as that film said, work smarter, not harder, and I'm going to be following that very advice right after this.
Since the finance bill came into effect in April, the construction industry has seen a surge of fuel thefts. The rising cost of living has placed an additional risk of theft by employees and contractors, as well as opportunistic thieves. By using diesel dye and placing warnings of its use, you are sending a clear message that this is your fuel.
Okay, I've written a piece that calls upon the UK demolition industry to mend its ways in the aftermath of the Competition and Markets Authority investigation. That article is my column for today. You can read it over on demolitionnews.com, or you can go and search it out on my LinkedIn profile if you'd prefer. But I also want it to be available for our Instagram following. They're not big readers over on Instagram, they prefer visuals. And so I wanted to create a video based upon that weekly column. Now, I could have finished today's show, reset the camera, reset the microphone, and then recorded it. But in keeping with the John Deere advice to work smarter, not harder, I'm going to record it right here and right now so that you can listen in as I do so. If you care to hang around, there is something a bit more lighthearted coming from our friends at JCB immediately after this. But in the meantime, let me just do this. At some point, a year or two after the Didcot disaster back in 2016 that killed 4 demolition men, I posited that there would become a time when we would all look back and see that Didcot had been a turning point, that the industry would have been changed irrevocably. I suggested that the demolition industry would be divided between pre-Didcot and post-Didcot. I was naive. I didn't allow for the intransigence and apparent ineptitude of the authorities at Thames Valley Police and the Health and Safety Executive that have needlessly dragged out the Didcot investigation for the past 7 years. However, some 7 years on from Didcot, the UK demolition sector now faces another turning point, a defining moment that, if embraced, could set the sector on a new course. Rather than pre and post Didcot, we might look back upon the history of the industry as pre and post Competition and Markets Authority, or CMA. In truth, the sector may have little choice, but to change. In the wake of a 4-year investigation that resulted in fines of almost £60 million, clients will surely place greater scrutiny upon any dealings with demolition companies, at least until the CMA dust settles. Having discovered the demolition sector is to be an abundant source of low-hanging fruit, it's likely that the CMA will continue to keep a weather eye upon the industry in the months and years ahead. Those mired in the investigation will surely want to present a fresh face once fines have been settled. And those demolition companies that were not part of any so-called cartel will be looking to distance themselves from those that were, to avoid appearing guilty by association. So, maybe the time is just ripe for change. There's a new president in residence at the National Federation of Demolition Contractors, and he will soon be joined by a new Federation CEO. Perhaps the phrase "out with the old and in with the new" might extend beyond just personnel changes, although the fact that the biggest elephant in the history of elephants' presence at the recent NFDC AGM went unaddressed is somewhat worrying. While the 10 companies named by the CMA will likely see it otherwise, the UK demolition industry has been gifted an opportunity to draw a line in the sand, to take a long, hard look at itself in the mirror, to emerge cleansed and reborn, and to write a new chapter in its largely proud history, starting with a blank sheet of paper. The only thing now standing in its way is the industry's own appetite for change. Okay, look, I know how April Fool's Day works here in the UK. I realise it's all supposed to be over and done with by noon on the day itself. But I'd like you all to make an exception just this once. In truth, I thought this year's April Fool's efforts for the construction equipment sector were pretty lame, but the one I'm about to show you stood head and shoulders above the rest. Now, I'll tell you now, the video I'm about to play you is just over a minute and a half long, which means that you've got 1.5 minutes, or roughly 2 minutes actually, to type Mazzio into the chat for your chance to win some Mazzio Colombian chocolate. Mazio in the chat, and I'll be back after this to find out exactly who won the prize.
From moving large range of materials to excavating trenches, the JCB backhoe is a dependable machine on any site. But refueling is key. Oh look, it's lunchtime, the operator's favourite part of the day. Well, anything is on the menu with the new JCB 3CX Tastemaster. A built-in air fryer comes as standard. A delicious English breakfast ready in just 5 minutes. Time to sit back and relax whilst your backhoe does the hard work. Ooh, what a banger! A proper builder's breakfast. To order your JCB 3CX Tastemaster, contact your local dealer today. T's and C's apply. Available for a limited time only. Please cook responsibly. JCB are not liable for any cab fires, leakages, burns or injuries that may occur as a result of direct air fryer usage.
Yes, the JCB Tastemaster. Now, I realise that was done as a spoof, but I'm now sat here wondering why this isn't actually a reality. We know we can make coffee and tea and stuff in cabs now. I realise there's a bit of a fire hazard and that working with a constant smell of bacon and sausages might be a bit tiresome after a while, but imagine how popular the 3CX operator would be if he could rustle up full English during his mid-morning break. Imagine what that could do for the morale of the site, eh? JCB, if you're watching, I think you may just be onto something. Now, did we get any more entries in? I don't think we did. Let's have a look. There you are. That air fryer would be great. And Ken Hatcher says, good video. Where's my pizza oven? See, we could be onto something here. Now, I don't know how many entries we've ended up with. Let me have a very quick look. Yes, we've ended up with 8. Let me roll the randomizer and see who is walking away with the Mazzio chocolates. Here we go. Gary Muirhead. Gary Muirhead, there's some chockies headed your way, my friend. Congratulations. You do seem to have a bit of a knack with these competitions. I can promise you that this isn't rigged, but he does have a bit of a knack. Gary Muirhead, you have some Colombian chocolate. I am reliably informed, if your wife is worried about you consuming chocolate, I'm reliably informed that Colombian chocolate in particular it carries with it health-giving properties. You believe that, you'll believe anything. Right, I think we need to play one of these.
Sorry to interrupt the guy with the funny glasses, but if you're enjoying this video, please hit the like button as it helps our channel. Or, better still, share this video with a friend or a colleague. Thank you. Right, back to Beardy.
Right, that pretty much wraps up the main part of this morning's show. I'm going to roll the outro in just a second before leaping gazelle-like over into the chat to see what you're all saying today. If you can't stick around for that, then please stay safe, look after yourself, your family, your friends, and your colleagues. Have a great day, and thanks for watching. But if you have the time and the inclination, I'll see you on the other side of this for the crack. We're back to the usual music, feeling the usual music today. Good morning, one and all. Dan Cullen is late to the party. I'm going to go through the chat in just a second. Let me work my way through. Let's have a look. Who was first off the mark this morning? See, the early bird catches the worm. First off the mark, Gary Muirhead. Who won the prize? Gary Muirhead. Maybe that's his secret. Maybe he's just lucky. I don't know. But good morning to you, Gary. Ken Hatcher is also in the house, fresh back from a weekend spent doing charitable deeds. Good morning to you, Ken, and nice work on the charity work. Mark Whiting's here as well. Morning, Mark. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. Our friends down at Kent Demolition are here again, as is Steve Williamson. Gary Muirhead says, have you heard how Neil Edwards is getting on? When will he be back on the show? I spoke to Neil late last week. Apparently, he is due back at work on the 6th of this month. Now, whether that means he'll come back and launch straight back onto this show, I'd like to think that he will, but he's due back on the 6th of this month. So, yes, he's on the mend and heading back this way, so keep an eye out for that. Tony Goddard's here as well. Morning, Tony. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. Lots of entries for the chocolate. Not that you're chocoholics or anything like that, but there are plenty of entries for that. And my question of the day was, quite simply, who makes the best excavator? And we will get some answers to that in just a second. Rob Thompson is in the house as well, as is Lou Carney as well, who was after the chocolates, but didn't win on this occasion. Ken Hatcher, who is notoriously a JCB fan, says, JCB make a nice 14-tonner, but all round I think Caterpillar has got it. Anybody care to add, detract from that? Al Grierson is here from Luxembourg. Morning, Al. Thank you very much indeed for being here. Gary Muirhead, you and I are of one mind, I think. Question of the day, excavator-wise, got to be Volvo. Yeah, I've said it before, and I will say it again. If I was spending my own money, and frankly, I'm never likely to, but if I was spending my own money, I'd be looking towards both Volvo and Liebherr for my excavators. Just me. Al Grierson entered the competition. Probably just as well he didn't win it, because he would have to sell a lung or a kidney, or quite possibly both, to get it through customs in Luxembourg. Kent Demolition reckon Komatsu. I know you run a few Komatsus. I know you had a Lugong back in the day as well. I'm not entirely sure whatever became of that, but I know you do like your Komatsus down there. Steve Guthrie is here as well. Morning all, Mr. Few. Not you. Oh, the things that you missed, Steve. Dancing girls. We were handing out cash. None of that's true, obviously, but you get the idea. But welcome back. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. Rattling through here, who else is in the house? Nick Drew is here as well. Morning, Nick. I don't think he entered the chocolate competition, because he's far better behaved than that. Infuriating, isn't it? The K-Teg or Hitachi K-Teg machine, that's some tool. It absolutely is. Demolition wise, I've been following what K-Teg and Kiesel have been doing, particularly with AR demolition in the UK. They really are making some absolutely cracking equipment, proper tool carriers. And I have to say, that new one from Hitachi, which is obviously a joint venture with the fine folks at K-Teg, looks pretty damn smart as well. Question of the day. I've driven a lot of machines, says Steve Williamson, but the Volvo, I mean, I can't fault it. Never misses a beat. Smooth, powerful, comfy cab, great for lifting, and it's sexy. Handles a tilt rotator with ease. Then I'd say a Hitachi done by Kiesel. There you are. Out of the mouths of a proper operator. So we've got two operators who both fancy the Volvo. Interesting, right? Gary Muirhead, there he's winning entry. Tony Goddard, there he's losing entry. Rob Thompson missed out as well. Turns out Nick Drew did enter for the chocolate. I probably did you a favour by ensuring that you didn't win. Ken Hatter is staying off the chocolate, as much as I love it. As I say, this is Colombian chocolate, and therefore it cures all ills. But hey, you missed out anyway, so not a problem at all. Now, Andrew Cowdrey is in the house. Don't believe I've seen Andrew's name in the chat before. Apologies if I have, but as a newcomer, you do get the welcome confetti. Good morning to you, Andrew. Thank you very much indeed for taking part. Sorry you didn't win on your debut here on the show, but maybe next time. Steve Williamson, work smarter, not harder. My favourite quote, some still like to work harder, not smarter though. Yeah, very true. Very true. Do you know, I wouldn't say it's a philosophy I live by, but I do tend to think of things in that manner. Like, for example, I get up first in this house. I have to be at work rather sooner than everybody else. So I make myself a cup of coffee. I make my wife a cup of coffee. The cups that I use are identical. The coffee that we have is identical. But I always make my wife's cup on the left, because when I take it upstairs, she sleeps to the left of the bed, and therefore she gets the one on the left. Work smarter, not harder. Rob Thompson says shocking amounts of fines. Just shows how serious it must have been. Yeah, and I'm still trying to figure out exactly how those fines came about. Obviously, we know now that Scrib Group are fighting or appealing against their £2 million fine, which they believe to be excessive. Keltbray are doing the same, although Keltbray were charged, I think it was about £15.5 million. So was it based on turnover? Was it based upon a level of guilt? Were some just a bit naughty, and were others just completely unable to lay straight in bed? I don't know. Apparently, the CMA will be dropping the entire report at some point in the coming weeks. I'll be interested to dig my way through that. Yes, I think the air fryer, the in-cab air fryer went down extremely well. I know Ollie Guns, our mate over on the Construction Content Creators Club, has got one of the machines with the coffee maker in it, which he swears by. But yes, an air fryer would be absolutely marvellous. Speaking of air fryers, anybody else got one? We've got one, use it a lot. Why is it that the manufacturers of food don't put air fryer cooking instructions? They tell you how to cook via oven and via microwave, but I've yet to see a single food package that says how long you need to cook something in an air fryer. Have the air fryers just taken off rather more quickly than they've been able to react? I don't know. Anybody's got any clues on that? A low air fryer. Yeah, indeed. Come. Yeah, does look like we are having some glitches, I'm afraid. Dan Holland display the comments for some reason. Arnie has said there we are. XW Row was pretty good. He's one of Paul's notes. If you'd like to go and see that, Lou has very kindly provided the link to that. Dan Collins here, but late to the party, not a problem at all, Dan, but good to have you here anyway. Question of the day: do Santa are up there, in my opinion, as the new ones are amazing. Yet leaving us are the Rolls Royce and Lexus. I'd find it very, very for that. Dan Cullen, were the chocolates vegan? I haven't the foggiest idea. My guess is probably not, but I haven't explained. Dan Cullen says, I live to work because I really enjoy what I do and how I do it. As I say, if you enjoy your job, you don't class it as work. It's an enjoyment for me. I have to say, I'm much the same. I have an air fryer, says Dan Cullen, and wow, 100 times better than an oven. Yeah, totally agree. See, this is what I'm saying. Lou Carney says, I have two. One in the van and one indoors. Both. Pure guesswork. Yep. Absolutely. And yes, I know I'm freezing. There's a little indicator up. To you, it would be up there. I get a little indicator to say that the Wi-Fi signal. I'm not actually on Wi-Fi, but I'm on broadband. I'm plugged in. And every once in a while, you get a weak signal, and I get a little indicator up in the top of my screen. It came. It's gone. We're now back at full strength. But my apologies for the freezing. Did I miss any comments while I was messing about with all that? I don't believe I did. There you are, Steve Williamson. That air fryer would be great. And why not? Are they more of a fire hazard than a coffee maker? Still electric, still heat. Is that a problem? Has anybody actually done that? Has anybody actually cobbled one of these together? If so, where can I go for my bacon sarnie? Yeah, be interested to know. Now, people, what have we got coming up? Yes, it is Good Friday this week, as I'm sure you're all aware, so there will be no show on Friday. I'm going to let you all have a break from my Fizzog. So we're doing Monday, obviously, we've already got that show in the can. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Then that's it. Then it's a long weekend. And then I won't be back until the following Tuesday. So you'll get to enjoy your Easter break without yours truly yammering in your ear holes. And then, obviously, I did mention earlier in the show, we are off to Verona. I'm reliably informed by the organisers of the Verona Fair, or the Samota exhibition, as it is better known, that the Wi-Fi there and at the hotel will be reliable. That being the case, we will be attempting to broadcast live, either here, which would be the ideal, or via Instagram, live from the show. So watch out for that. Would be lovely to do that. Take you around a few of the stands live. And hey, listen, if we can make it work, we might even be able to do a bit of interaction. So if we find somebody that speaks good English and we have a decent Wi-Fi connection, we might even be able to do a live where you are able to ask questions of the manufacturer that we're speaking to. We'll come to that when we get to it. But that I think I go on the 1st and I'm there till the 6th of May. Looking forward to that one. I haven't been to Samota for about a decade, I would guess. And there are some big names going. I think Komatsu and Kobelco are both there. Lots of Italian attachments manufacturers. My mates at Venieri are going to be there. Italmec, I think, are going to be there. I know Cymex are going to be there. So lots and lots of companies for me to go and check out. So keep an eye out for that. And then obviously we are now on the countdown to PlantWorks, which is about just over 2 months away now. And that is obviously the time when hopefully we will all be able to get together. I know some of you are a long way away, so Gary and Steve, who are tucked up in Bonnie, Scotland, bit of a hike for you guys, but if you can make it, we'd love to see you there. But yeah, looking forward to catching up with a few people. And then also we've got, I did have to move it back, partly because I screwed up my diary, partly because I'm double booked, but because we were originally planning to launch our brand new Friday afternoon show on Friday this week. Obviously it's Good Friday. Most of you, if you've got any sense, won't be at work and therefore shouldn't be tuning into me babbling on. So with that in mind, we pushed it back a week. So on the 13th, is it the 13th? Fairly sure it's the 13th of April, we will be launching our brand new construction equipment news show, Friday afternoon, 1 p.m. So wherever you're seeing this, you'll be able to see that. That will be at 1 p.m. on Friday afternoon on the 13th of April. That pretty much brings us all up to speed, I think. Got lots more ConExpo footage for you tomorrow. We've had a one or two technical issues this morning. I was expected to open my computer this morning and find a whole heap of new stuff that we've produced, and it wasn't here because my email played up over the weekend and I was too poorly to notice. But now I'm back, I can go and give it a good sharp kick. So if you're here tomorrow, lots and lots more from our travels to ConExpo. And I'm sure we'll have another giveaway. Not entirely sure what's going to be up for grabs next. I do know there's a very nice this week. Now I realise because this is camouflage, you probably can't see it, but I'm holding an alu hat. It probably looks like I've just got my hand in the air, but there's an alu hat there that has an American flag on one side, Finnish flag on the other. If anybody would like to be in with a chance of winning an alu hat, then please be here tomorrow and put the camouflage on your head and make your head completely vanish, because that's how camouflage works apparently. So yeah, that will be tomorrow, and I'll tell you now, assuming I set it up properly, when you arrive, just type alu into the chat. I will remind you tomorrow, obviously, but that will be how we'll be drawing that. And then hopefully by that, I'm hoping that with another couple of giveaways, I might actually have my side desk back to my own personal use and not full of the stuff that I hold back from ConExpo at long last. Enough, people. Go enjoy your day. If you are able to do so, go and have a look over at my weekly column over on LinkedIn. If you could give it a like, that would do us an enormous favour. I know a couple of you already have, but that would really help boost the engagement on that, and the more people I think see that, the better. But until tomorrow, have a great day. Really enjoy your days. If you can get an air fryer to work in your cab, let me know about it. I'd love to feature it on the show. But until tomorrow, have a good one. All the best.